My name is Cynthia Gonzalez. This will be a presentation on research guides. I will be discussing the basics, how they are formatted, and just generally what they are used for. This is generally for early college students, freshmen or sophomores, or even late high school seniors who are going towards academic fields such as psychology, biology, a lot of research heavy fields, or really any kind of field that requires a lot of research. The base definition of a research guide is a curated collection of information resources that are tailored to a topic or a subject. They can include a variety of different resource types, from books to journal articles, digital or internet-based resources. They're generally offered through public services such as libraries, although independent organizations or private organizations can also curate research guides for their own uses. They're pretty flexible in that area. Before we get to the examples, I do just want to specify between a subject and a topic real fast. Subject is more like a theme of a general field, while a topic is a part or a narrow element in that subject. So for example, art history versus history of Impressionism art. Art history is a very broad example of a subject, while a topic of art is Impressionism. Therefore, subject, topic, art history, history of art, Impressionism. We'll be looking at three different examples of research guides. We'll be looking at one offered through a university, one offered through a public organization, and one offered independently. We'll be looking at the Dominican University Rebecca Crown Library research guides. So on their main page here, you can go through research guides. You don't need to be a student or have an account or anything like that. Most libraries offer these without any kind of account. They're just kind of for the general public, unless it's like by a very specific private organization, but that's not very common. Here you can see they have a listing of the 95 subject or research guides that they offer, from 3D printing, which they offer at their course, to activism and protesting, to biology. We see here when they were last updated, as well as how many are viewed, so you can see what's more commonly talked about. That's actually really nice. You can either sort through by subject. So for example, if you're only looking for something within the health science, you don't want to have to go through 95 subject guides when you only need to look through the 6 that they offer here. So they, from physician assistant to nursing. It does look like these are specific to the courses that they offer here. So as you can see, but there's a broad range from arts to humanities to social sciences, all meant to help potential students in the university. So if it's a university that's not specified in anything, they're very broad, and they cover a lot of topics. They are also either specified by subject or topic guide. What's actually really nice is you can also sort through most popular, so you can see what everyone's kind of more researching or looking at. And for example, evaluating information is a very popular topic. I do just want to kind of click on this to show an example of the different information resources. So here is their page for evaluating information. They go through types of misinformation, fact checker websites. Here they do offer a list of books related to evaluating information, but their main kind of focus on it is how to spot and detect different forms of misinformation. So there are some resources that are more print or reading based resources, I'll call them, but also like websites. So if you are curious on how to fact check, or if you need the stuff fact checked, these are links that will take you to those websites. Here is just kind of an example of a more specific research guide is the Library of Congress. These are research guides that are part of the law library. So all of these guides are related to law, legislative, or judicial topics, ranging from American Indian law to congressional committee calendars, contract law. So this is an example of a more specified research guide, as well as just kind of example of a library that offers a different, form of a library. I'll show you this one just because this is an example of like an independent research guide. I created this for a course earlier where it was focused on comedy creation. So again, unless you're if you're looking for something, chances are there may or may not be a research guide relating to it. If you're looking to study or to learn about any kind of a study of subject or topic. So in here, I created a reference or resource guide for those who are interested in comedy creation, so writing, producing, stand-up, performing, sketch comedy kind of a thing. So I do include books here. I include films that kind of look at comedy different ways. As well as here, I offer resources that help train or practice different comedy skills, like the Second City theaters, the Groundlings, just kind of base examples of different resources that you could put into your research guide. So that is my quick presentation on research guides. Most libraries will offer these, but you could also find independent organizations that offer it as well, or just type in the subject and then research guide, and you may be able to find some on your own. They're really good to kind of gather initial references and resources to kind of start a project if you're unsure of where to go.